Insurance Stream. I'm your host, Dave Bowling. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Here with John Tate. He specializes in insurance agency marketing. So we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do to help your agency grow and get a really good, really effective marketing campaign in place to get those new customers. Because right now it's a hard market. And we talk about that a lot on this podcast. And, things aren't getting any easier. They're probably not going to get any easier for the next couple of years. And so we're really honing in on things that we can do to automate things, create more efficiency, and just help your agency grow to that next level, even during this hard time. Because, there's 2 ways to look at hard times, right? If you're looking at it with a doomsday perspective, you're probably doomed. But if you look at it through an opportunity perspective, then really the sky's the limit. Because if you go back and you look at history, a lot of the biggest companies that exist today came out of extremely hard economic times. And that's when they started. That's when they flourished. So everything we're doing on this podcast right now is dedicated to that. And John, tell me the backstory, because we were just talking about this before we hit record. There's not very many advertising agencies that just specialize in insurance out there. So how did you guys come to be? And then we'll jump in on the 3 things that agency owners can do to themselves with or without your help to increase their marketing. But tell me your backstory.
Yeah, sure, Abe. So we started Insurance Agency Marketing Machine it's going to be 10 years ago in 2 weeks. And prior to that, my wife and I, who co-founded the company, we had a company named Marketing Machine, and we did marketing for all kinds of businesses. But when we came upon in the insurance industry and we saw how much we could help it and how few companies were out there actually doing the kind of marketing initiatives that we were starting to implement with the insurance clients that we had, we just saw that there was a lot of opportunity. So we just specialized in insurance, and that's where Agency Marketing Machine was born. And so we've specialized in insurance, helping insurance agencies across the country ever since. And we've got about 200 clients now across the U.S., but we're based in Miami.
Nice, beautiful city. Love Miami. Long as the water doesn't come in too high, right?
That could be a problem. That could be a problem. We're going to look out for that. Yeah,
absolutely. So, let's talk about those 3 things that we talked about before we hit record here, on the 3 things that agency owners can do today to start, making their marketing machine grow. And then we'll jump in and talk about, different programs you guys do for agencies. But let's walk through those 3 things. So number 1, we said, email automation, send the stuff out to your client base. It doesn't necessarily have to do with insurance. We talked about that on a few episodes back about your agency's website on our 5-minute daily insurance meditation, taking content to them that's not necessarily about insurance, right? But tell me about the email automation. I mean, so how does somebody get this kind of program started for their agency? Let's say I have no email list at all. I have nobody that's subscribed to me. I don't have anything. So how do I get that started for my independent insurance agency?
Yeah, you definitely have to start building that email list. So it's critically important. And even though we all get inundated with emails on a daily basis, they still get open and they still get seen.
Still
and
about the content, right?
Yeah. And the competition is going to be sending it regardless. So you want to be in front of your customers and prospects and not just about insurance. So you've got to create that content. And I guess now with AI, it's a little bit easier to create that content, but make sure you give it your own flair, and you're not just utilizing something that you created using ChatGPT. Yeah. And make it interesting, make it fun, things that people will use in their daily lives, because, insurance isn't the most interesting topic, right? But you can put your own twist. Okay, why is my insurance agent sending me this kind of content? And so you do that with email newsletters. We send a digital magazine basically to our agency's customers. And so make it fun and interesting, something that they'll actually open and check out, and remind them that, hey, you're their insurance agent, or you could be their insurance agent.
100%. And we talked about that on a previous episode too. Not to keep bringing up previous episodes, but we talked about this. I think it was, is your agency entrepreneurial agency or a small agency, right? And we referenced this guy that has an agency I think it's in Ohio or somewhere, and he specializes in tree trimmers is one of his niches. And so he brings this content on safety procedures for your employees, and he brings content about growing your tree trimming business and best
Mhm.
practices to make sure your employees make it home every day, and stuff that if I owned a tree trimming business, I
Yeah,
would
be
want to
valuable.
read, right? So
Right.
so that's the kind of content I'm assuming, like really examine your client base, figure out who they are, and then get information that is completely relevant to them and start sending it to them to keep you front of mind. Is that kind of
Absolutely. Yeah, make it specialized. But if you're selling auto home insurance, then it's going to be about, okay, helping them in their day-to-day lives, life hacks, hence helping families out with their day-to-day struggles.
sure, fascinating information. So that's number one. Number two, online presence and reputation. Let's say that I'm a small agency owner. I maybe have a Google listing, but I don't really have much more than that. What kind of things do I need to do to boost my online presence and my reputation online? And why is that important?
Yeah. So you absolutely make the most of that Google business profile. There's once you log in, there's a lot in the background that you don't actually see on the front end, but there's an actual Google website that you can create, and you need to link that up to your existing website and other services, a lot of information where you can just load it up, and it is going to help Google in the background identify that, okay, I should put your listing up towards the top here because you're mentioning some of these things that people are looking for. So make the most of that. And then obviously reviews. People are going to look at you for the reviews. It's not slowing down, and it's more and more important. And I think Google is the primary driver of that. There's other places where you can have reviews, and there could be seen if you send people there, but a lot of people just they're going to go ahead and look at your Google reviews. So make sure that you ask for them. I mean, you've got to be sending that link to people over and over again. And then as far as your overall online presence, they are going to click that button to go out to your website. You've got to have one these days, and it's got to be high quality. And that's where a lot of people fail. It doesn't have to be a huge website, but it's got to look good. People, they get there and they think, oh, this is, maybe just a small time agency. Things aren't even ordered properly. They're not formatted well. Then they're going to think, well, maybe they could do a sloppy job on my insurance and go to the next competitor that might have something that looks good and something that represents the high quality of services they probably deliver.
Yeah, for sure. And, jumping back to point one real quick, because I forgot to say something that I intended to say. So we have the fast track appointment program, gets you appointed with, dozens of different carriers. And you can check that out under agency services and carrier appointments, but on our website, theinsurancestream.com. But what my point is so, when somebody joins the program in phase one, the name on the deck page is, the overarching, kind of general agency's name. And so we get phone calls, and then we forward them on to the agent of record for the policy. But people would be shocked at how many phone calls we get where they do not know who their producer is. They don't know who their insurance agent is. I mean, it's astounding, like no clue at all. They know their policy number. They know what they're covered for. They know the company. They know the premium. They need to make a change, but they don't remember who wrote their policy. And that's just in somebody, my background is I was a retail insurance agency owner for over a decade. And I would never have thought that my clients did not know who I was. But now I wonder, how many of those people did I run insurance with, have a great conversation, kick it off, talk about the wife and the kids or whatever. And then they totally forgot who I am, what my business name is, and no clue at all. So going back to the email automation, I think that's a lot more important than a lot of agency owners think, because they have no clue who we are after they hang up the phone and go back to their day-to-day lives. So number one, we've got email automation, getting information out there relevant to your client base. Number two, we've got online presence and reputation. Build out that Google listing, get reviews, send links to your clients to review you. So that way you've got these testimonials. It adds legitimacy to your business. Number three, we said some short videos are helpful to push out on social media and other platforms. And what kind of videos are we looking for?
Yeah. So the internet these days, it's hard to find something that's not on video. You want to try to read something, forget about it. It's on video. So that's the way things are, and they're going to keep on going that way. So let's take advantage of that. People are asking questions all the time, hundreds of thousands of times a day online about insurance questions. So why not you be the resource to answer those? So just think of the frequently asked questions that you have and that people have that you get every day. Just answer them in a 1-minute video. Push that out through all your social media. You should have Facebook. You can always, that will copy onto Instagram easily and LinkedIn. And then also put it on your website. You can also put that into a link to in an email, and that could be some of that content that you're sending out an email so that you do stay in front of them. And when they go to think of, oh, who's my insurance agent? Well, at least they might have an email last week from you with your phone number on it so that they can get in touch with you.
Absolutely. So walk me through Agency Marketing Machine. And let's say that I'm an agency owner. I'm coming in. I'm like, John, I need your help. I don't have my phone ringing at all, and I really need it to ring. How do you, obviously some of these things that we've talked about are things that you assist agency owners in, but when I come to you, what kind of buffet of options do I have available for my agency? Because I'm assuming it's like pick and choose, right? I'm like, give me some of that and that and that, but maybe not this right now. What are my options with you guys when I come to you and say, I want my phone to ring, John?
Yeah. So we can handle everything from your website to posting on social media, but also we have these engines, we call them. So we have something called an FAQ video engine where you can easily record the video and then we push it out to all your social media, give you an email template for that. You can pick, if you don't like being on video, you can pick from spokesmodels answering those questions, and we apply your background, put your logo on it and push it out, and also whiteboard videos. So that's something. Referrals are a vastly underutilized resource, and you need to have programs where you can have a consistent stream of referrals coming in from not only customers and prospects, but even other local businesses and throughout the community. So that's something that we help customers with. And then also, speaking of community, getting out there within the community and helping other people. That ends up being one of the biggest resources and ways that our clients drive referrals is through these community cause programs where they might offer to donate $10 or $20 to the specific nonprofit when somebody gets a quote that's referred to them. So that's a big thing that any agency can implement right away. But we work with agencies from scratch agencies through agents that might have 10 offices, and we treat them all the same. They're all one client, and we're just helping them to stand out and drive more business through referrals, build relationships with other businesses that might be referral sources or good sources of commercial business, and then to retain those clients longer by building that relationship.
That's awesome. So if I'm coming to you and like my phone's not ringing and I want my phone to start ringing this week, is there a method that you guys use to make that start happening for me this week? Or how long does it take? What does the pipeline look like for, from the day I say, hi, John, my name is Abe, to the day that, basically I start seeing a return on my investment with Agency Marketing Machine?
Yeah. During the first month is the setup. So we're giving you a whole facelift on maybe even your brand and website and your social media. And in month 2 is where we start those marketing efforts. So you need to build up that list so that we can send email. We have promotions that drive business that first month. A lot of the times during the first month, we want to get you a whole lot of Google reviews. So we're going to load up on that immediately and then drip that out consistently over time, and then getting some of the referral marketing programs in action so that you can immediately turn every single prospect, every business in the area, every customer absolutely into more business.
Perfect. How do people get a hold of you, John?
Agencymarketingmachine.com and schedule a demo, and we'd be happy to show you what we do.
Doesn't get much easier than that. John Tate, thank you so much. Agency Marketing.
Thanks, Abe.
We appreciate you guys coming by, helping out our audience on things they can do to boost their agency's marketing. So appreciate it. Would love to have you back at some point.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.